Hello, Plot Whisperer here. Actually just found out that a Plot Whisperer book will be written and delivered and out next fall, 2011. I'm thrilled to be able to announce that. Anyway, but we're here today to talk about plotting your screenplay, novel, or memoir. We're on step 12. And today we're going to just talk about switching the goal. In step 1, we spoke about establishing a goal for the protagonist at the beginning of the story. And I spoke a little bit about that goal may change depending on what happens in the beginning and then as it's thrust into the middle. So when you come to the end of the beginning, which is what we worked on last time, step 11, at that point, oftentimes the protagonist, their goal changes because they have a new sensibility about what they want, or because of what's happened, they're sort of thrust into something that they're not even sure they want to do. So the goal becomes more refined and more definable in terms of the story itself. And I'll give you some examples of the stories that we've been working with. One is Grapes of Wrath. So Tom Joad, who is the protagonist, as we spoke about last session, that he's coming home, he's been in prison, he's going to relax, he's going to become a sharecropper, he's going to make a life like his father and his grandfather before him. He wants to, settle down and have a quiet life. Well, by the end of the beginning, we learn that there is no life left in Oklahoma for this family in Grapes of Wrath. There's only forward and going into the great unknown, which is undergoing a journey. So at the point of the end of the beginning, when everybody's loaded into the truck and they're ready for the journey, obviously his goal of coming home and living a quiet life with his family has changed dramatically. And you want to redefine the goal, especially for yourself, but also for the reader, to become aware of what's at stake now. What is the protagonist wanting now? Because then the reader and the audience gets to root for the protagonist when they're close and mourn for the protagonist when they are thwarted. So for Tom Joad, what his goal now is to just be with his family and get his family in one piece to California, the promised land, and once they reach California, their life will be absolutely fantastic because the streets are paved with gold. Too bad we can't flash and show that they're not really, but that's okay. Then another one of the stories that we spoke about was Where the Wild Things Are, and that was with Max. And at the beginning, he just wants to be a wild thing. That's sort of his goal. Well, at the end of the beginning, when he gets sent to his room with no dinner, and he is on his own in his room, and his room starts to transform into this imaginary world of this big forest, his goal then changes. He doesn't want to just be a wild thing. He wants to go to the land with the wild things. He now has a specific goal in mind, and that again is undertaking a journey to a foreign, exotic world. Just like Tom Joad in the Grapes of Wrath, they're going to an exotic world that they know nothing about. The same thing happens for Max. So I hope that you sort of understand that once you leave the beginning, the introductory world, and move into the exotic world, the goals will change, things will happen, and the story really takes off. The real story is the middle. So I want you to today redefine what the goal is for the middle of the story. What does the character want now? And if you can, to try to hone in, develop it in a different way, expand upon it, whatever, switch it completely, whatever, depending on what happened at the beginning, and to know exactly what they're going after for the middle section. This can change, everything can change as the story moves, but the more that you're aware of the goal setting, the better off you are in writing your scenes, because then the scenes have focus and direction, and the reader knows exactly what's at stake. So again, my book, Blockbuster Plots, Pure and Simple, I have at you can get it in bookstores or off my website or Amazon, wherever. And a lot of this information is in there in a different form, but it's all there. And also my YouTube channel is Martha Alderson, all one word. So it's www.youtube/user/Martha Alderson. And then you can get to all the steps. And you don't have to go in order. I mean, it's set up to go in order, but you can just randomly hit one, whatever one just sort of appeals to you that day, and the information there will get you revved up, will get you recommitted to your writing, and you'll be off and working, either plotting or actually writing the story itself. So, good luck, and I will see you next time.